Hello everyone. This video will give you a general overview of the 4 courses you're about to embark upon, as well as this particular course, EDUU 624, your introductory course into either the certificate or the MAE emphasis degree in teaching the 21st century learner. Let's be very clear. This course of study is for teachers. Whether you currently are a teacher or you're working to become a teacher. This is a course of study for the practitioner. And the role of the practitioner in 21st century education truly is evolving. We as teachers are in an interesting place because we have to serve not only the immediate needs of our learners, but our goal is to prepare them for a future that we truly don't know. We can only guess. So it is imperative that we be fluid and flexible, that we be able to be the adapter and the communicator for our students, for their families, for the community, for the business community. We need to understand our learners and understand various aspects of learning theory in ways that are relevant to, again, today and tomorrow. We are in a position where we must act as visionaries because tomorrow is coming at us exponentially faster than it ever has before. And as teachers, there are new tools that are continuously cropping up that can serve us, serve our learners families, but are we willing to learn the new tools, to be able to deconstruct them? What do they actually offer our students? Is what they're offering worth the time and effort to learn the new tool, or is it just some fancy new toy? A fancy new toy, we don't have time for, but something that can change the learning process to make it more meaningful and useful, and here comes our key word, ding, 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 transferable into skill and action out in the real world. Is it worth the time and effort to bring that into the learning process? It takes a visionary to be able to make those decisions. We need to be leaders within our small community, whether it's a single classroom or if we're teaching online, it's distributed students around the world. With our fellow educators around the world, we have to be able to be a leader because there is so much more responsibility being placed upon us that to be passive and just sit back and wait to be told what materials to use, when to use them, and how to use them, unfortunately, if that's the kind of environment you like, those days are over. They really, truly are, whether we're talking pre-K, elementary, middle, high, graduate, post-grad, doctor, the whole 9 yards. The entire landscape of what it means to be a teacher is changing as we speak. Modeling is even more important than it's ever been. Because things change so fast, we have to be able to role model being adaptive, being fluid, being willing to take chances, and learning from mistakes. The collaborator. More and more, we will need to be able to collaborate with people outside of our traditional educational environment, whether that means Skyping or doing Adobe Connects or any other kind of virtual meeting with experts out in the field, whether it means connecting on projects with students all around the globe. We have to be able to collaborate with peers, with experts, with people outside the educational field, but who have something to offer our students that otherwise they wouldn't be able to get. And the risk taker. We're going to make mistakes, and that's okay. As long as we're able to learn from them, and again, model for our students that we can learn from and through our mistakes. A lot of this comes down to mindsets, and the mindset for the 21st century teacher truly is different than that of the 20th century teacher. Over the course of our 4 classes together, yes, we will be looking at strategies for accessibility. We will be basing all that we do on the EDUU standards for quality online teaching. EDUU is truly a leader in helping individuals understand what it means to be an outstanding teacher, not just online. But let's be very clear that whether we're talking a flipped classroom or an official blended classroom, within the next 5 years, pre-K through graduate, there will not be any formal educational environment that doesn't have at least a modicum of an electronically mediated component, whether it's officially blended, moderately blended, maybe just a class or two. The skills, the ideas, the knowledge that we're going to gain based upon the vetted and strongly applauded EDUU standards, this is going to serve all of us and our students. Student engagement and community building practices, this again, more important than ever. Yet what's the irony here? On some level, the technology now is empowering us to go back to the purest forms that Dewey was talking about when he was speaking to educators and showing people and really setting the tone for what it means to be an effective teacher and create an effective educational environment for American students. And learner-centered project-based assignments and assessments. Again, throughout these courses, you will create for yourself an understanding of why this is so crucial, along with how best to create, to implement, and to assess such work. It's all part and parcel. This is a process. These 4 courses work together. They must be taken in order, so that you don't go into one with massive knowledge gaps. Everything is scaffolded, everything builds up and out, and continuously reinvigorates itself throughout the whole of this learning process. Each course, each one of our 4 courses, 624, 625, 628, and 629, is a 3-credit course. Now, at this time, those 3 credits are still technically tied to the Carnegie unit concept of credits. All right? So you should plan that every one of our weeks together, each course is 8 weeks, and every one of those weeks, you will be engaged in the learning process, whether that's writing, reading, researching, doing collaborative work with a partner, any of this. You will be engaged to earn those 3 credits per course, 10 to 14 hours per week. In 8 weeks, you will truly have been able to earn your 3 academic credits. That's a semester's worth of work. So yes, 10 to 14 hours a week, that is a lot. This is why it is absolutely crucial that you break it up throughout the whole of the week. An hour or so on a Monday, maybe you skip a Tuesday, an hour or so on a Wednesday. You cannot do your 10 to 14 hours only on the weekend and think and trust that you are able to fully get all that is offered to you within each one of these courses. So again, each one of these courses, 10 to 14 hours a week, consistently broken up over the course of the week. A Brandman week starts on a Monday and ends on a Sunday. Let me throw one last thing in here. Brandman University School of Education uses live text as its primary tool for collecting and assessing high-level data on the student outcomes to be able to validate that students are truly learning what is considered mastery for each course. You will be using live text in each one of these courses. There's more information on live text inside our shells, but here's what you need to recognize. Again, there's a build, a flow, and a scaffold to everything. In 629, your quote-unquote signature assignment, the summative assignment, which there's been lots of formative, but the summative assignment that truly is your opportunity to demonstrate mastery of the key skills and components that are necessary to be able to say, yes, you have successfully completed this course. This will be a major portfolio. That portfolio will be based upon things you've done in previous courses. This will be where it is completed. A portfolio you'll be able to take out into the real world, to use, to be able to get a job, to be able to reflect upon your own learning process and all that you've gained. It's a great reflective tool, but it's also something that can help you get a job, help you identify where your strengths are, where there's areas where maybe not your strongest and could use some more work. 629 is where all of it comes together into your big culminating portfolio. There will be smaller assignments that will also go into live text in 628 and 625 and 624. You'll begin your portfolio in 625. You will add to it in 628. In 624, you have a different assignment that will go into live text that will eventually go into your portfolio. But let's be clear. You will officially begin the portfolio in 625, continue working on it throughout 628, and it will be completed as your crucial, summative, signature assignment for the whole of this program in 629. So with that said, let's look at 624. Let's do a quick walkthrough. All 4 courses will be built relatively along the same format, but to ensure your success, let's get a real strong understanding right now of how 624 is put together. Whenever we log into one of our classes in Blackboard, yes, we land on the announcements page. Please, whenever you log in, take the time to look at the announcements. Now let's focus on our menu, right? The left-hand nav bar. We have Start Here. Please always at the beginning of every term do go through the Start Here button. Things do change, URLs change. Here's the information on live text. You will find that there will be new information. All right? So at the beginning of every course, go through Start Here. You don't need to go through it every week. It won't change throughout the term. Then we have course information. Every course has this button, and this is kind of like the mothership for your course. Here is where you'll find your welcome message, the syllabus for your course, the course at a glance, or whatever the name of the document is in yours, threaded discussion rubrics, crucial rubrics. Assignments and grading will always be broken out so you clearly understand how you're being assessed. There are no surprises. Moving on. Late work policy, synchronous meeting policy. Yes, each one of these courses you do have synchronous meetings. Please check the dates as soon as you get in so you know you can clear out those dates in advance. Synchronous at the same time, virtual meetings. EDUU 624 has 3 meetings. Every course is a little different. Again, that's why you must go through course information so clearly. Now, this course has a blogs button. And all 4 courses will have a blogs button. For these courses, we are asking that you construct your own blog using an outside tool. There's all the information. At this time, we are recommending you use WordPress. There's several reasons. Once you start playing with it, I'm sure you'll understand for yourself. But the number one reason is it's what's being used in the real world. If we were to only use the tools inside Blackboard, we would be doing you, the student, a disservice. We are preparing you to go out into the real world and be able to implement, not at the end of these courses, but immediately if you so choose. So part of empowering you to make these kinds of immediate choices and decisions and actions is by incorporating real world tools. So yes, you will be going out and exploring and testing and trying all kinds of new software, all kinds of new online services. It's not about getting you to know every single tool that's out there because they're changing every day, but to have an idea of what's possible and what is currently being used and what's being tested. Again, flexibility and fluidity, flexibility and fluidity. Key hallmarks of a 21st century educator. This should look pretty familiar. Weeks 1 through week 8. And every week is basically got the same construct. There'll be information as soon as you pop in about what are we focusing on that week, what are our topics, what standards are we truly living, studying, exploring, deconstructing through the materials, through the activities, through the videos, through the discussions, through our engagement. Every week you see the individual Brandman standard for the course and how they connect to the INACOL standards. Again, this entire set of courses is built upon the INACOL standards. Then you will find learning activities and assignments. Personally, I find this to be a bit of an artificial deconstruction, but it was decided by a group of people that it helped make things a little clearer, so go with it. There'll always be a learning activities, there'll always be an assignment so that you're clear with exactly what needs to be turned in. There's always material in both. I do want to point something out. Notice there's not that much reading for week 2. Week 1 has a ton of reading. I don't want to scare you, I'm preparing you. Week 1 has a ton of reading. Now, let's be clear. Anything that is over 10 pages is a skimmer. This is not an endurance test. Week 1 has so many readings in it because they're short. There's mostly 2 to 3 page articles to give us all a solid base to move forward on the same page. There is one midterm in this course, and it is a quote-unquote open book, if you will. It's an essay exam. It's in week 4. You have 3 hours to complete it once you start it. All of these articles will be relevant and useful. So in week 1, yes, download everything. Anything over 10 pages, skim it, have a general idea of what it is. Know that you can go back to it when it's time for that information to be relevant. The week 4 midterm, it's timed. It's a 3-hour essay exam. Okay? Now again, a Brahmin week is Monday through Sunday. I strongly recommend you wait and do this on the weekend. This is not something you most likely are going to want to do on a Wednesday. You're going to want to complete the week as best you can to help empower you to be ready for the essay exam. You will have to be referencing. Let's go in and take a look real quick. There's a rubric. Please read the rubric before you do the essay exam. Do not click on this until you're ready to start. You get one shot at this exam. If there's a problem, you need to talk to your professor. Do not launch this until you're ready to begin. It's open book, it's open article, it's open computer. Have all of your resources ready. As an essay exam, look through the rubric so you understand what's being asked of you. That is your one quote-unquote real-life test. In week 4, a midterm, a 3-hour timed essay exam. You will have the one signature assignment that will be turned in via live text. Right? We've already talked a bit about that, but I want to be clear. This signature assignment, which there's a whole nother movie that will discuss that in week 4 for you, a vision of a 21st century teacher. You will be creating a Prezi, and we work on Prezis earlier in the course. It's actually part of a pair project. Students will create a Prezi, and you will present that Prezi live. And all of the elements that must be present there are in the rubric. Don't worry, this is just a picture. There's the rubric. You can download it. But what's crucial is that you're able to defend it. Not just stick in, well, I think this article represents this and that article represents that. You have to be able to defend what you build. Got it? Ladies and gentlemen, that is the bulk of this course. Every week we have a threaded discussion. Now, there's an introductory, here it is, the informal class introduction. This is not graded. But please come in, watch the video, chat, introduce yourself. But every other one, the formal week 1 and every other one going forward, is graded. These are very important parts of our learning process. You must engage. The rubric for this is inside course information. Please go over it. You will be graded via this rubric every single week. What we're looking for is quality of engagement. It can't just be, oh yeah, I agree, me too, good idea, thank you. Those aren't posts. Those do not add to the quality of the conversation. So you see what the criterion are. You see what's outstanding. Please go for outstanding. You deserve to earn the outstanding. At this point, you should be pretty darn ready to go. When you log in, you always land on announcements. The red left-hand menu or navigation bar. Start here, course information, blogs, your weeks, virtual office, SIG Central. That's where you'll be working on your signature assignment, which will be turned into live text. But you will have a wiki to work in, uses a repository. Live text, the link to live text. Discussion board, various tools. Most of these we're not using, although send email, which leads me to my last point. You must check your Brandman email on a regular basis. It is the #1 way for your instructor to communicate with you. Please, 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 please check your Brandman email regularly, several times throughout the week. All right? You also have a link to the library, back to the announcements page, and help. All right? You need help with the technology? Right there. The help button opens in a new window, no problem. You need help with the course? You can always start with your professor and or your peers in the discussion board. You've got the class question board and the student lounge. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to your very first class, Teaching the 21st Century Learner. Welcome to EDUU 624.